Hello everyone, and welcome to your weather update on this balmy Friday evening. It is July 11th, 2025. So this evening we have waterfall sunshine apart from a few wisps of high clouds in the north and some coastal fog that has lingered all day in parts of the south. This morning started foggy in many parts of the south, but that did burn back, except for southern Cork, Waterford and Kerry. To our west we have a weather front. That is a cold front. For now, that will stay at bay, but on Sunday and Monday, that is likely to push in and bring some rain, showers and thunderstorms. Yes, very warm, sunny, and tomorrow we might see 30 Celsius. Here, oh god, that just pops up when I close the tab. You know, that did not come up when I was setting these up for you guys. Why did that just pop up there? Oh gosh, that was a fright. Anyway, here is the UKFB high-res precip cloud forecast. Right, so, tonight we're seeing balmy, clear skies. Yes, clear all round. A few wisps of high cloudy, yes. Maybe some fog in the south and also in parts of North Leinster. But apart from that, as I said, clear skies and warm and humid. So here's Saturday morning. Saturday, all areas are under the merciless sunshine. Apart from the west, where we do see some high cloud pushing in. That is the first sign of a cold front moving in there, but really that will only just turn the sun hazy, and even there it will be very warm to hot. Yes, and a few rogue downpours may spawn on the northwest coast in the evening, but even if they do so, they are likely to push offshore quite promptly. To tomorrow evening then, it remains clear and balmy over many parts of the country. Still a high cloud is in the west, and by Sunday morning I think the high cloud will just make some inroads incrementally further eastwards. Sunday dawn is sunny. Everywhere really sunny, but the clear sunshine will be for areas east and north of the line from Ballina to Waterford. Through Sunday, most areas of, say, Leinster, North Connacht and Ulster stay very sunny in the morning. Through the afternoon, though, we will see scattered storms breaking out, sparking off over central Leinster, and these will just edge westwards and possibly form an MCS as they push through Connacht there. There is some uncertainty about how big these storms will be, but I think they will warrant at least a yellow warning from Met Erin's, say for areas like Northern and Central Leinster, also maybe the far north of Munster, and for Connacht itself as well. So a few storms are likely to form there. Details will be provided in the following few days. Also, just to mention as well, today we had many counties in the Midlands, East and North under a high temperature warning. Tomorrow it is for the whole country from midday tomorrow till 6 a.m. on Sunday. That is for maximum temperatures widely above 27 degrees and minima above 15 degrees. So, yes, very warm. All the usual threats of bad sleeping at night, so very humid, very warm and comfortable. Also during the day, obviously high UV. So sunburn, I think the UV index of 7 is quite widespread now. And water-related accidents will occur due to people gathering at the beach. Also, just to mention that UV is not linked to the heat. Yes, it's sunnier while it's hot, but even if the sun's out and it's a cold day, say if you got a northerly wind today and it was cold but sunny, UV index is still 7. You'll be sunburnt just as easily if it were like today, but cold. It's about the sun, not the heat, is what I'm trying to say. Through into the evening. Well, I'm not sure if I explained that very well at all, but yeah. It's the sun, not the heat. That's the message about UV. Okay, so into the evening on Sunday, this is where things get a bit lively. So there's MCSs form in Connacht, and they push off. But then we see a band of thunderstorms pushing in to Munster. A few rogue storms may also form on the east coast, and also in the Irish Sea. These will blossom through into the early hours of Monday morning. So by Monday at midnight, or 1 a.m. really, you got a load of storms across the country. There is uncertainty as to how intense they'll be, how widespread they'll be, but potential for Sunday to Monday to be very thundery, like a classic thundery breakdown, as an area of low pressure does move in from the west. By Monday morning, the storms have pushed northwards into Ulster and also through into, say, parts of the Pennines and down into Lincolnshire and Norfolk there, Cumbria. Also into Monday, the storms go northwards and clear Ireland, but we're left with a rash of showers, convection. So hot, warm and humid, yes, but nowhere near as hot as it'll be like tomorrow and Sunday. So Monday is a day of sunshine and blustery showers, heavy and thundery, but still in the sunshine, quite warm. Tuesday, uncertainty currently. Some models show it being a really wet day, especially in the south, but this one just shows some patchy rain in the morning, followed by quite a messy day really. The south stays quite cloudy with light rain and drizzle. The north sees sunshine and showers. Into Wednesday, what the hell? It's Friday evening, whatever. It's party time. Sorry. I had the window open. It's absolutely boiling in here. Anyway, so by Wednesday afternoon, we're left with. Do you know what? I'm going to close the window for the sake of the video. Right, window is closed for the video. They're going right back open though once I hit stop on the recording. So moving on to the temperature forecast from the UKV. I apologise for the dog, guys. Into the overnight period tonight, we will see lowest temperatures of a balmy, almost tropical, 15 to about 18 degrees. By the way, guys, I've already mentioned before that a tropical night is defined by a night with minima in excess or at 20 Celsius. That might happen in Dublin tonight there, with a bit of phone effect and urban heating. Maybe in West Kerry, West Wales, maybe in London, parts of the West Midlands there of the UK, and in a far north of Scotland there, and that is because of the phone effects with southerly winds and high ground to the south of that area. Into tomorrow, Saturday, well, it'll be a hot day for all of us. I think the peaks are at 4 p.m. So higher temperatures of around 25 to 30 Celsius. 30 Celsius there, anywhere in the counties of, Cork, North Kerry, Clare, Galway, East Galway, should I say, East Mayo, Sligo, Roscommon, Tipperary, Carlow, Kilkenny, Kildare, Dublin, Laois, Longford, Westmeath, and the west of Meath, Cavan, Monaghan that way, and up into West Northern Ireland and Donegal. Any of those counties that I mentioned there, I think I got them all in that area. Pretty 30 Celsius. Into tomorrow evening. Yeah, always cool about the coast as well. Just say that as well. Tomorrow evening we'll be seeing a very warm night again. So lowest temperatures of like 14 to again 19 Celsius. Highest values in the west with phone effects. Into Sunday itself, be it a tad less hot, with highest temperatures of around 20 in Munster, with more cloud and rain pushing in later on, to the mid-20s to high 20s Celsius elsewhere. Warmest values there from, say, Wexford up towards Mayo and Donegal in that strip there. Sunday evening will be a very warm night. That is before the storms move through. Those storms will be on the cold front. Monday, much cooler with temperatures in the mid to high teens. Tuesday morning is fresher, and in general, next week will be a lot fresher. Humidity charts look for tonight and tomorrow nights to be in the 80s to 100% mark. So very humid nights, just to let you know, coming up. So here is the GFS run. We got very warm, high pressure in control, southeasterly winds, slack breezes, so a hot weekend to come. Then we see the slow bringing storms and a cooler, fresher feel by Monday and Tuesday. Further into the week, we stay westerly. Also, we got blocking over Greenland next week. That is indicative of a pattern that is actually against us having a hot spell. If we have that block to the north, it will always mean that trapped beneath it is a trough of low pressure, and it will always be over us, or at least affecting our weather. And next week we see just that. It's also it's the south. Yes, France is getting a heat wave, but we happen to be under low pressure thanks to that block over Greenland. Through into next weekend, that block strengthens towards Greenland, proper blocking, and we just stay westerly, cool, even northerly for a time there. By late of July, by the end of July, not the late of July, but the end of July, we go back into a more favourable pattern for summer weather. The Azores high is stronger to the south, that blocking is much reduced, and the low is shifting towards Iceland, and we're starting to draw up some warmer air from the southwest. The ECM. Tomorrow will be hot and sunny. Sunday will be warm and humid. Thunderstorms occurring in the west and south. Monday, after seeing a band of storms possibly go over the country on Sunday night, it'll be a much cooler and fresher day. Tuesday will be showery still. Wednesday looks a bit showery, really. You got blocking to the north as well. Thursday looks dry and a tad bit cooler with northerly winds. However, that block sort of connects to the Azores high. So this actually keeps us under a ridge. A weak ridge, yes, but equally it's a ridge. So this isn't nearly as bad as the GFS run. In fact, that'd be quite nice. Up at temperatures, to be honest, I take back what I said earlier. It will not be cool. That is quite a warm northerly flow. Full effect. Oh my, yeah. So actually, if we trace this back, you can see there's a core of hot air currently sitting over, say, southern Finland into western Russia. That will push eastwards over Jesus Christ, Scandinavia tomorrow. There we go, Scandinavia, and that will push westwards into the Norwegian Sea on Sunday. Basically, we end up pulling a warm air mass from the continent to our north, and that ends up to our north by Sunday and Monday. So by Monday, we have warm air mass to the north. In fact, the air mass to our north is warmer than the one we have over us on Monday. And into Tuesday, that air mass stays there with high pressure there as well. And as that low pushes eastwards and southwards, and the block gets going to a western north, that warm air mass actually comes south with the ECM. So actually, that is a warm northerly. Yeah, so that's quite interesting actually. Quite an interesting pattern. I definitely very unusual pattern there, I think, shown by the ECM. Not sure it'll come off. And actually, yes, blocking by next Sunday, but with that low cut off to our southwest, we end up dragging in warm and humid air from the south. So the ECM doing something very interesting here. Here's the UK Met run. we're going into the weekend, yes, and we see heat wave coming through. Thunderstorms that on Sunday night brought by that area of a low pressure. And beyond that, we stay cool and showery through next week. Blocking to the north, that is nothing interesting apart from keep that low trapped over us, and we just keep the showers coming in, and it's quite messy. Although I wouldn't think that would be too wet, especially after next Wednesday, as we see quite a slight pressure gradients. Yeah. Here's the GEM. GEM, it's like this. Once again, we're hot tomorrow and Sunday. Storms on Sunday, especially in Connacht, possibly West Leinster and into Munster as well. Into Monday, Tuesday time, we see this area of low pressure bringing wet weather with it and cool weather as well. However, that low does fill quite rapidly on Tuesday. It shifts eastwards by Wednesday, and I think the GEM is doing something quite similar to the ECM in the sense that it extends the Azores High and the blocking around Iceland, Greenland together. And we end up with actually quite a warm Wednesday, Thursday and Friday next week. And we end up, like the ECM, low to the west, and we drag in quite a warm, humid air mass from the south. And that could easily fuel thunderstorms next weekend. So despite blocking to the north, the low is actually our saviour in the sense that it sits to our west and drags up a southerly winds. In this exact pattern there, by the following Monday, it's actually not in our favour in the sense that it's going to be wet. But this chart here, saying Saturday, actually I bet one should be next Thursday, that low there, bringing warm air. So it's touch and go, it's an unusual pattern we're seeing here. It's a very unusual pattern, put it that way. Blocking to the north, as always high as strong. Some models show a low just sitting over us and keeping us cool and wet. Others actually join the highs together and form a huge ridge and bring quite warm weather. And a low just ends up meandering in and sits to our southwest. If it sits to our southwest quite far away, we'll be dry and hot or warm. But if it's quite close to us, it'll be warm, yes, but very wet and thundery. So it can go any way. It can be cool and wet, warm and dry, warm and wet. It could be anything next week. Very uncertain, but it's fun. This is the fun of the weather, guys, I think. So it's hot tomorrow and Sunday. Sunday, as we know, thundery. Break down through into Monday, Tuesday. Let's see what happens here. So we got the blocking to the north. Also a strong high to the south. Low pressure over us. So the low sits to the west next Wednesday. It's still up by Thursday. So we say westerly with the icon. We'll go by next Friday. We're building up a ridge from the south. And it kind of links. There's a weak link to the block up there. There's a slight ridge there. And the low appears to the west. It might stall. And if it does stall there, it will end up really hot again. But could you just roll in? Here's the arpege. It's going to tomorrow be a hot day with temperatures widely in the high 20s, possibly 30 Celsius in the Midland counties there. Sunday starts off warm and sunny, but as we know, it'll be thundery. It'll get thundery later on. We end up by Monday, cooler and more showery, same with Tuesday. Now, we don't know what will happen beyond then, but we can see that to the north, we got blocking. South, we got Azores High. We got low pressure over us in the middle. We got low pressure over us. Got low pressure over us in the middle. It's like a to be honest, that is like a low pressure sandwich. See what I mean? Sorry. Where we go? Will that low stay over us? Will these two highs meet up? Will we see a low stalling to our west, bringing up a hot southerly winds? Will we see storms? It's up in the air. But I think it's a very interesting pattern we're in. This summer's definitely a lot more interesting than last summer. I'll have you know that. Very interesting summer. enjoy the heat wave, guys, and stay safe. You know, heed the warning in place of all times. You know, this is actually a time that I wouldn't think there'd be a warning in place, but there is a warning in place, so heed that one. Wear plenty of sunscreen, all that stuff. Replace it every hour. I learned the hard way yesterday on Thursday because I didn't replace it enough in the sun. I wore a lot of it, yes, but didn't do it proper. But I didn't replace it enough, you know, frequently enough, and it got burned. Right. Oh god. Well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you later on, and bye for now.